Neapolitan, not Neosporin. He just got lazy. It's like Neapolitan ice cream. So today we're building the Sat75 X. So this is Canon Key's upcoming keyboard. This is theoretically the third version of the board, but this is like completely new. It starts at $111 and there's gonna be 4 colors. So there's gonna be Stratus Gray, Octo Purple, which is the one I have, Deep Ocean Blue, which is like a deep navy, and then Cloud White, which is like a white. This will be releasing, I think, later this month, but this is the Octo Purple. Same as the Bakaneko Go, this is the injection molded boards. The main difference, because there's a Sat75 R1, R2, and then this is the Sat75 X. The mounting has changed, so now you have these gaskets, but you can change the gaskets. So it's like adjustable gaskets, but here's the top piece. So 75%, you have the OLED rotary encoder, and then you have 3 keys right here, separated arrows, 75% layout. Here's the side, here's the back. It's interesting. There's no branding. I think that's something that a lot of people have pointed out in the past is like Canon Keys branding, but this has no Canon on it that I see. There is it on the front right here, but there's nothing on the back. It's 4 feet USB port. So this one is a right hand USB port. And then here is front lip. You have 4 screws on the top, 2 screws on each side, and 1, 2, 3, 4, so 4 on the bottom. So you have a total of 12 screws. And here you can see the gasket pieces are removable. Okay, so I've basically removed all the gasket pieces just to show you guys what that looks like. Looking at the top piece, so here you can see where the grooves are for the gasket pieces. You can see there's like these little indents to help keep it in place, as well as the case screws to make sure that it doesn't like shift around. Yeah, so the gasket chips have like these anchor points. Kind of subtle, you don't really see it. On the bottom case, you can see they have these, like, they almost look like plus signs, but basically anchor points for the gasket pieces. And then at the top here, you see you have these like grooves, right? So the lower pieces, the lower walls have these anchor pieces, but then the higher points have like these grooves for it. You can add like foam as an add-on later on, or like the rubber. I think that's what they were talking about, like the rubber weight. So here you have your gasket chips, and each one of these is shaped a little differently, so you can kind of tell like where it goes. So for example, like this one, it looks like a wedge. This one goes on like the side. And then if you want to be able to distinguish like where the pieces go, if you look at the bottom, you can kind of see like this one has like cuts of like a plus, but then this one just has like the single up and down. So they're all shaped a little differently, so that's kind of how you can distinguish where each one of these goes. This one doesn't even have like the groove like the others. This one's just like a ledge right here. It's not as simple as like the top piece, the bottom piece, but they've also injection molded these removable gaskets. And it's interesting because I did think like, oh, that's a lot of like case screws, but I guess the reason for that is because the screw posts act as like a point of reference. So you just want to make sure that you pick out the ones that are the right anchor sized. The 2 side pieces are different, the 2 top pieces are different, and the 2 bottom pieces are different. All the gaskets are the same for the top piece. These gaskets, so you can see like this is like the gasket piece, but then it has like the actual silicone gaskets. These have been installed for us, but they won't be pre-installed for production. So you have your gasket chip and then like the actual gaskets on it. And there's 1 and 2. So basically what you would do is you would pop it in here, push it down to secure it to the anchor point, and then it won't shift because you have the 2 screw posts and also the 2 anchor points. Neat. The screw posts that they use for the case protrude out, and that also functions as alignment posts for your top case. Neat. So looking at the plate, default's going to be PC plate, no flex cuts on it. You do see this cut on the spacebar. It is going to be a fixed 6.2U bottom row. So the plates are not compatible between the different sats because it's a different mounting style now, right? And here you have your foam. And then here you have a PCB. So no flex cuts on the PCB, fixed 6.25U bottom row, fixed caps lock. It looks like there was an indicator here at some point, but it's not there anymore. The OLED is going to be hot swappable, so if it burns out, you can easily swap it out. And then the encoder is going to come pre-installed. You do have a choice of split or regular backspace. So basically the only choice you have is your backspace, but everything else is fixed. And the PCBs are compatible between the different sats. So PC plate is the default. They will have FR4 alu PC plate. And they're also working on different types of knobs, so plastic, alu, brass knobs. So it's in development, but the default's gonna be PC. So this is what you get in the box. You get the case, top and bottom. You get the knob in the chosen case color. So this is the knob that you get. It's a purple plastic knob right there. You get a clear PC plate. You can get hot swap or solder PCB. OLED screen, you get the encoder, silicon gasket, silicon feet. You also get a switch, keycap puller, cherry clip and stabs, screw and hardware. You get a braided, straight USB-C cable, carrying case, and an auth card. Neat. I fell asleep early with Ginkgo last night because it was lots of fireworks and she was scared. So I was just cuddling with her. She's like so warm, so fuzzy. I meant to just take a small nap and just stream once I woke up. I ended up sleeping 6 hours. And I woke up at 1 and I was like, okay, I'll just do a late night stream. I washed my face, I got back into bed, and I passed out again. I didn't wake up until like 7:30. Let's talk about it. So here you have it, the Sat75 X. So this is injection molded. It's going to be releasing later this month, starting at $111. If you've always wanted a satisfaction, this is going to be the most affordable option that you have. So you can see that the screws are actually going to be threaded, so you don't have to worry about screwing it into just like the PC itself. So the PCB, you still do have this battery if you want to do it for the clock. Not necessary, but these gaskets are actually removable. and you can actually customize it to how you want it to be. You can experiment with the board and how stiff or how soft. Basically, like, you can pick your gasket mounting points, right? So that being said, in terms of add-on, so you can get silicone weight, silicone plate foam. There's also pour-on plate foam and case foam. They also added Bongo Cat for the OLED. They added it so you don't have to like do any weird flashing. But yeah, that's the build. So my thoughts. I think they did good with this one. I was a little critical on the Bakaneko Go. If you were trying to pick between that and this, between their two injection molded boards, I would pick this. Unless you like specifically want wireless and you just like hate this layout, I personally would pick this one. I think they realized, you know, a lot of quality of life changes from like the R1 and R2, and they've incorporated here. So the first thing being the screen, making it hot swappable. I think that's really nice. And then also having the OLEDs coming pre-installed, right? It's not really that big of a deal, but just having it already done for you is really nice. And they thought a lot about it. The screws act as like alignment tabs. They also function as posts for the gasket chips, and the fact that you can customize it similar to Sat 1 and 2. I really like the colors. This purple one is really nice. And then I'm excited because, you know, they spent a long time making this, so now they have like the molds, and hopefully we'll start to see like different colors in the future. Keyboards with OLED and screen is getting more popular in the sense of like, you know, you'll see it with the Zoom, with the QK. However, it's a bit more rare to see both. If you're the type of person who likes having both, this kind of hits those points for you. I would definitely recommend this, and this is closer to the price point of a beginner entry-level keyboard, while still having like the functionalities of like a higher end custom. This one, it hits right. And this one I would recommend for newcomers who are entering the hobby. They want just like a cheapo board with a knob and a screen. I would feel comfortable recommending this one. But yeah, that's the board. Thank you, Canon Keys, for sending it out to me. That's it.